least once a week, a lot of men and women is doing that. They don't know what else to do. They coming out and they fall in between the system. Many of the women I know just really frequent flyers, meaning they go back and forth to jail too. We need to address these issues. And some of them don't even know if they'll turn left or right when they get out. We need to create more programs for them as well. So how can we expect them to change their lives if they don't have a safety net? We can appreciate the vocational programs offered to these women in jail and prison, like music classes and art. But I think we are missing the big picture if we aren't focusing on inmate employment. Those are the kind of programs they need. They need to be ready before they get out. And really, to be fair, prison can't deal with issues that women face in the community. They can't deal with issues that women face when they're coming out. You have a lack of housing, a lack of employment, mental illnesses, and addiction. And of course, women go through a lot of abuse. And I believe that these issues women face has got to be dealt with through community involvement, through community correction, and not prison. And let me say this, that everybody don't choose to be on drugs. And still, I'm going to say to those coming back into society, only you can change your life. Only you can stop the vicious cycle of jails and prisons. If you didn't do it, then they wouldn't have a job. I definitely can't do it for you. Nobody can do it for you. Nobody can do it but you. I've been there myself, but I had to finally look at these things. I had to look in a whole new perspective. You must continue saying to yourself, give yourself affirmations that you want to be better. So I won't end up back in prison. I want to be better. So I won't end up behind them bars again. Tell yourself that. And to society, we have so much opposition from the public that to me translate into political will. And I'm speaking about those who think ex-felons are getting something which is a second chance. And what's wrong with that? My answer to you is the chances of them reoffending is higher without support. And don't think it's cheaper to give support to them than to deal with the consequences of their crime. You know, if they monsters, if they out there killing people, then that's something different. But smoking crack in the alley and going to jail for 6 months, that's ridiculous. Come on now. Stay with me.
So keep it up, Rich.
That's Jackie Wilson. Go, boy. That is the late, great Jackie Wilson. And wow, what a fantastic record collection that he put together. Music, man, he was the music man. And he used to box, but he went into that. I think he sung opera, and he finally found his niche in life, and that's giving us some fantastic music back in the 50s and 60s. This is Chaplain Dale Ray, and I'm coming to you live today from Houston, Texas. Sending a shout out to all my family out there in the San Francisco Bay Area. And if you get tired of hearing it, I'm going to say it anyway because I love you for real. Today we talking about stopping recidivism. We need to speak to our legislators because everybody makes mistakes. Yet some mistakes are serious and some are not. To those who are free today after jails and prisons, you have a part to do also. And I know there isn't a magic pill for stopping recidivism, but you can do your part by involving yourself in a recovery program if you went in for addiction. You can do your part by getting into some life skill classes and job training. And as soon as we as a society realize that the better shape that we'll all be in when we help to facilitate a successful reentry for these men and women everywhere. And it's mind-boggling to see the number of women being incarcerated. It's triple in years. We must reevaluate what works and what doesn't. We have outdated correctional programs for women. You see, these programs don't allow women to adapt to our changing society that we live in today. We need to have more programs for these women that focus on parenting, more programs on empowerment, and how to make responsible choices when they back out in the real world. And even though I was in the home with my kids when they were small, I was still missing in action because I was a drug addict. I'm going to keep it real if it means helping somebody else. I'm not blaming it on my father or even my stepdad. I just never had anybody show me the role a man or a father should play. So I understand when men are coming out of prison that they carry a heavy load. Yet you have an obligation, young man and young lady, to be a part of your kid's life. You have an obligation to protect and provide for your family. And it's time you put the needs of your children first. And I speak that. I speak truth because I didn't do that when they were little. And I'm making amends today. And you know what? Not every man is going to be a president or even a CEO. But we should be able to lead and act responsible when a situation calls for it. And that's what Dale Ray is learning. Stay with me.
Here in the moonlight, hold me while I sing to you.
Listen to Sam Cooke.
My teenage sonata of my love, eternally true. It's written and filled with devotion from deep in my heart. And with my teenage sonata comes a prayer that we'll never part. And as long as we love, it will stay. Oh, we'll hear it on our wedding day. Go on,
We can stop recidivism in order to stay free. Focus on being a good provider for your family, man. But also you must contribute to that emotional and spiritual well-being. That's incentive enough to stay out of jail. And there is pressure raising a family, I know. And instead of always letting your woman, the mother of your child, take the lead, you take it. Get back in the game, man. You can still create what you want in your family. Just because you've had a setback, remember, you get what you give. And I also want to say to our government, we should stop sending so many low offenders to jail and prison, especially that woman. Many of them have children. And if we want to break the cycle of crime, then let's get to the root of the issues. The government is all about making money. We must find better ways to keep these men and women out of prison. I speak about those because no real threat. Those the ones who cause no real threat to society. Those little small little crimes. Let's help them stay free, y'all.
My lips can only kiss you. They can't explain how you make me feel. But my teenage sonata will tell you that my love is real. My love is real. My love is real.
It's Chaplain Dale Ray, and I'm coming to you live today from Houston, Texas. You know, I know many women out there who've suffered from sexual abuse. And so when they go into that crazy prison atmosphere